I'm here today to talk to you about choices, systems, and productivity. I'm Catherine Avery with productivitybydesign.com. So let's talk about choices. I had some very interesting experiences. We are just back from a trip to Europe. We were gone for 2 weeks, which is completely amazing as a family, touring Portugal, Spain, and France. I think I still have a little jet lag. I'm having a little struggle remembering where we went. There were so many places. It was amazing. And I've been posting photographs on my page, my personal page. Maybe I need to post a few photos on my business page. At any rate, choices. So I got up Sunday morning very tired and I could not find my sneakers. And my choice was to work out, because that's what I do pretty much every morning. Now, when we were in Europe, I made the choice not to take my sneakers with us. I figured we would be we'd be walking a ton. We were definitely not working. We were walking a ton all over the various towns and cities we were in. And so I said, there's really no need for me to bring the sneakers. We were packed in those 22 by 14 by 9-inch bags that you take onto the plane. We were determined, yes, 2 weeks of clothes and a carry-on. And so I made the choice not to bring my sneakers. So when I got up Sunday morning, I knew that the most important thing I could do was to get right back into my workout. The problem was I couldn't find my sneakers. Now, usually when I'm not exhausted, I have laid out my clothes the night before on a bench in our bathroom, and they're all ready to go. So all I have to do is roll out, brush my teeth, put on my gym clothes, and go work out. I tend to do those high-intensity workouts down in our lower level. Super easy. We've got some weights and it couldn't be easier. And for me, I have got to have everything be super easy. So I can't find the sneakers. So I have a choice now, right? And I kind of have 3 choices. Choice 1, I can get back into bed, pull the covers over my head and say, hell with it. I'm not working out today. Choice 2, I can continue to look for the sneakers and waste a lot of time. And by the time I finally find the sneakers, I'm probably going to be hungry for breakfast and have another excuse not to work out, right? And choice number 3 is I could just find some old sneakers somewhere in the house. And in this case, I found my sailing sneakers, put them on and choose a workout that was primarily upper body and low intensity so that I wouldn't injure myself while working out because I'm not in the right shoes. So I went with choice number 3. Why do I bring this up? Well, your choices come hopefully from your values. So I took some time to delve deep into what my values are. And my values are health as the number 1 priority. I'm a cancer survivor. I may not have put health as my first priority back before I had cancer, but it was a real eye-opener because having cancer meant having to make a lot of different choices. And one of the choices I made was to put my family first. And so my second value is family. And so I just said my family's first. Well, my family is second because my health is first. I can't be good to my family without my health. So that's a lot of the old put your oxygen mask on first. I'm a big fan of saying that. I'm a big believer in it. If you don't put your oxygen mask on first, if you don't take care of yourself first, you're useless to everybody else. You just are. I'm sorry. It's just a reality. And I really learned this while going through cancer. So the third value I have in my life is freedom. I want the freedom to be able to travel. I want the freedom to work on my business maybe Saturday morning at 6 a.m. and not work on it at 3 p.m. because I want to go see my daughter's cross-country meet. So freedom is my third value. So you'll see every choice I make in my life has to come out of those values to make it a really great, worthwhile life. And I think you'll find that if you choose your values, and there are systems out there where you can do this. I found one where you cut out pieces of paper and set them aside and figure things out. There are like quizzes out there in the world to help you ascertain what your values are. And I would stick with 3. We really only can remember 3 things. I could barely remember the third one, freedom. Which is really pretty funny. Maybe because it's not my strength yet, but I'm working on it. So the key was, of course, in the last 3 years since I was diagnosed, was to get the health and family aspect figured out. And now I'm, back rocking my business, getting more involved in productivity consulting and sort of moving away from so much of heavy lifting in the design world. And that's where the freedom piece is now coming in. So another thing I would advise is if you're working on something in yourself, choose one thing at a time. You can't, it's kind of hard to start new habits, like making choices around your values. If you're trying to do 3 or 4 at once, you know, our brain works better if we're focusing on one thing. So I got in that exercise habit. And it's so easy for me now because I have that system in place, right? So that's the second piece of this is systems. My system is I have the clothes laid out in my bathroom, so they're ready to go. Another system I have is in my calendar, which is on Google Calendar right here on my phone, right? As I take this everywhere with me. From 6 a.m., 7 a.m., it says me time. I put it as me time because I want to remember that exercising is for me, that it's a gift to myself at the beginning of each day. It's my putting my oxygen mask on first. Now, there's some days I'm not exercising first thing in the morning, and maybe that me time is about meditation or right now taking this amazing happiness course, which I'm going to talk about in the next video. And that's what I did this morning early, as I'm choosing to work out at the end of the day. I've got a personal trainer and I'm meeting her at 3 p.m. So if you have your values and you make your choices and you set your systems in place, you can be more productive. And being more productive also gets you that freedom I was talking about. And remember, that's my third value. So let's talk about choices around the Europe trip, because those are sort of, I showed you a small choice. Let me show you a big choice. So a big choice was, do we go as a family and leave our jobs and our work and our clients for 2 weeks in March to take our daughter to see Europe? Well, to me, travel is a piece of that freedom. It's that freedom to see places in the world that we've never been, or maybe to see places we've been and I wanted to take my family to see. So we did do that. We made that decision. So we had to have systems in place in order to make that choice. We had to have systems to pack and get ready. We had to have systems in place to run the business so that it was going while we were away. I made a choice not to take my laptop computer. I really wanted to be more unplugged. I did have my cell phone. I did have an iPad. And I did get 2 business opportunities while I was away. One was with a potential client, and I was able to email and respond on my phone. The other was through my friend Diane Jones, who said, there's this HARO article opportunity. And if you haven't heard HARO, that's Help a Reporter Out. And the HARO article, it's like kind of amazing. It's going to be in a major publication this summer. And the reporter was looking for someone to talk about productivity, specifically around office design. How do you set up your office to make it more productive? What things do you need to have in place? What systems do you need, right? Here we go with the systems to ensure that you're working productively and effectively and efficiently and still having a really good office space that supports you and your well-being. So here I am, sitting in a van, heading to the Alhambra in Spain. It's a 2-hour van ride. And I said to my family, I hope it's okay with you. I see this choice again. I'd like to take an hour here and get on my iPad and respond to this reporter and give him the answers to his questions in the hopes that I'll be quoted in this article, which is actually going to be the case, which is amazing. So it was a great choice. It's probably pretty much the only work I did on the entire trip. So completely unplugged. So systems that were in place. I had didn't have the laptop, but I had the iPad. So I did have a plan B. I had to type it out on the iPad and then save it into notes and then email it once I had some cellular access in the town of Granada, which was great, not a problem. I had my team in place. So I had them set up autoresponders for email. If it was a crucial email, they were to let me know so that I could respond. And that was the case with that one potential client, right? I had them set up so that my Instagram and all my other social media was going while I was away. So photographs we had chosen in advance, quotes, etc. That had all been done in advance. My e-zine had been written in advance and was ready to go, and all we had to do was queue it up and hit send. the, wow, I'm trying to think of what else. I guess that's really it. Those were the things that I knew had to keep going while I was away for the business. So that's systems. So how do we wrap this all up into productivity? If you know your values and you know how to make your choices with your time and with your space, and you have systems set up in your space to work effectively, you can be more productive. I'll do one more example so you can really see the productivity piece in an office space. I'm a piler. Everybody knows that I'm a piler. And what this means is that I like to be able to visually see everything out on my desk. So you know these folks, they have piles and stacks on their desks, right? And they say to you, oh, I can find that paper instantly. They're probably blowing smoke up your butt, okay? Because I know for a fact that I can say that, and then I spend the next 10 minutes searching through my papers, trying to find whatever that paper was that I said I could find right away in my pile. So with pilers, there are systems that can be set into place which are more visual for them. For example, vertical file folders, etc. I won't go too much into depth on this. The point of this is one of the systems I discovered through a group I'm a part of, which is Productive Environment, is a finding system. So I now file things. They are put away in file drawers, and I don't fret anymore about where is that piece of paper, because it's all set up in a system. And I go into what's similar to a Google search kind of idea of a system, and I type in something that I remember about that file name, and it pops up and it says file number 21. So, example, I had a client, Robin, and her file was filed under her company name. And in the heat of the moment, when I was talking to her and needed to access her file, I could not find her file. Could not remember her company name, only could remember her name. Of course I would. She's my friend. So of course I'd remember her name, right? Hello. But for some reason, I don't know why, I'd forgotten her company name. So with the finding system I now have, all I had to do was type in Robin and it comes up file 21. Right? Now I no longer have to stress about how to find Robin's file because there it is under file 21. I've got it in my finding system and I'm good to go. So here's what I want you to know. Productivity requires knowing your values, making choices, and those choices come out of your values, and setting up systems both in your personal life and your business that allow you to live out those values and make those choices more easily. I encourage you, if you're a person who's looking around your office space and saying, oh my gosh, I'm just going to Starbucks because I can't stand all these piles of paperwork and I can't focus and I just need to work somewhere where I don't have the stress of the papers. Or if you're a person who says, I can't believe I'm late to this meeting again, either because I can't find something or I forgot to put it in my calendar, or I said, oh, I have an extra 10 minutes, I'll make it, I'll be fine. Or if you're a person who is done with sort of the drama and the stress around not being organized, not having systems in place, and you want to do better in your job and your productivity, I want you to contact me. I'm going to provide a link below that will say how to reach me through my time scheduler. And we can have a workplace assessment. It has a simple productive environment quiz you can take to see where you're at in your productivity. And we will get on the phone and we will talk about how I can help you. And the reason I say this is I'm passionate about helping business owners be amazing in their businesses. I want you to have the time, get it back, that time, so that you can be more creative with what you're doing at work, so that you can have more time with your family or to enjoy hobbies or passions that you have. Because that's the bottom line, is productivity brings you back time. It brings you back sanity. It brings you back the ability to have that creative juices flowing. You know, it gets you back into flow, which is Mihaly, I can never say his last name, Csikszentmihalyi. If you've ever read that book, it's just amazing. That's where it's at. You want to have flow. So I encourage you, please give me a call, hop on that link. My business company website is productivitybydesign.com. There'll be a pop-up. It allows you to schedule time with me. I would love to talk to you about how we can make your business and your life so much better through some simple systems that'll skyrocket your productivity. All right. Have a great day.